I got to step into my power so that I can empower more women who were struggling just like I was.
So earlier in my career, I wish somebody would have told me that not everybody wants to see me win. Not everybody was going to be by my side. I had to learn to be my biggest cheerleader, to be the person to go out there and step out of my comfort zone and do new things, try new things, because not everybody is going to be supportive.
Guess what? You're not in it alone, because there's tons of women out there that are struggling just like you who want to be there to support you. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Were Meant for More. My name is Francine and I am your host. And of course, I had to come out and do all things Halloween. Well, sort of all things. But it is October 30th, and I thought, this is where we get a little excited in our family because it's kind of the start. October is literally the start of the holiday season. And now I know some people out there don't celebrate Halloween, and that's completely okay. Growing up, we love to do the trick-or-treating. We love to go out there with the kids. And now as adults, we love dressing up and giving out candy. So wherever you're at in the world, just know that it brings joy to kids. And that's what we're all about. We want to bring joy and happiness to others that are out there who brought joy and happiness to us, So we got to do it as kids. And back then we had amazing people who would give out candy. And now we get to do it for kids now as adults. So if you don't celebrate, that's okay. To each his own, and to each his and her own. So I'm just here to do this fun Halloween special because you get to learn more about who I am as a person, because if you don't know already, I lead very authentically. I'm kind of quirky. I'm kind of, I don't know, how would some of you describe me that are joining me here? So if you're new to my show, you've never seen me before, I get that I'm bubbly. I get that I am very transparent, that I'm fun, and that I'm trying to remember what everybody have told me, but ultimately, if you're joining me here live or even catching the replay, go ahead and leave a comment. How do you know me? And share with others who may be new to the channel or to any of my social media handles as, I guess, how you would describe me. So I wanted to share in this fun kind of holiday celebration because tomorrow is actually Halloween. Today's October 30th, and I had to pop in here with a witch's hat. And not too long ago, my cousin actually hosted an event at her house called Witch's Brew, and both my mom and I dressed up. I actually should have had the pictures ready for this, and we won the costume contest, so yay. So this is one of my mom's beautiful hats, and I had to borrow it. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to do the show a little bit different today because I want to be able to have fun with you all. Normally, I bring in a guest speaker, and we talk about things that relate to the emotions of pretty much emotional intelligence. Because when you're able to control your emotions, you're able to control any situation that's around you. You're able to not allow people or circumstances, situations to affect you. And that's where you really get to step out, and it's your purpose. It's your power. It's your power. You're able to really understand people in general. And being, NLP certified myself, I'm a master coach about it. I teach my clients just how to do that, by understanding the different areas that affected us in our lives and how we get to show up going forward, because ultimately it's the awareness of it, and then where's the root cause of it, and then really transitioning to reframe and move forward in our space and to pretty much bless and release. So I lead this show by spirit, mind, and body because they're all equally connected and they all support each other. So I hope you're here for the rest of the shows, but if you're here for just the fun and excitement and the Halloween decor, that's fine too. So I also wanted to touch in on some of the topics that are going around that are crazy right now. Because again, we all lead very emotional or logical. And so, yes, some of that affects, they both intertwine, and they both kind of either support or really, bring it down for each other. And that kind of will go into a little bit more in detail as far as what I mean. And we're going to talk about two things. So, one, we're going to talk about the World Series game. And if you don't know already, I'm a huge Dodgers fan. My Dodgers are in the World Series against the New York Yankees. Wow. This was an epic game to begin with. Like, we've actually, Dodgers fans everywhere have been wanting this matchup for years. And I mean, I'm sure you know why if you're if you're a baseball fan, but we hadn't seen each other in the World Series since, I'm sorry, I'm totally going to mess this up. I want to say it's 81. It's been a long time. And we knew that this was just going to be an epic matchup. And so far it has. So right now we just finished game 4 last night. The Dodgers lead 3-1. I'm so sorry. 3-1, 4-1. Tonight is game 5, 4-1. And so we're playing again in New York. If we lose again tonight, we're going back to LA, or they're leaving at New York, coming back to LA. And then, of course, we can win it here. So let's go, Dodgers. Go ahead and leave your comments. Who are you rooting for? What team? That's okay. I'm love all the way around. And just go ahead and drop it in the comments, whether you're watching live or if you're watching this on replay. And if you're watching on your TV at home and you're like, I don't have chat option, don't worry. You can find me on any social media platform. Just type in my name, Francine Ayala, and all of my social media platforms will come up. So whether you want to follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, where else am I? TikTok. I've created all the social media platforms so that you could stay connected. And I definitely want to stay connected with you. So please come along for the ride. It's going to be a blast, because if you don't know already, I'm on a mission to empower women through their voice all over the world so that they can step in to their power and purpose. Okay, so of course it wouldn't be Halloween without a few Halloween games, right? So of course I had to bring some Halloween games for you all. And or quiz, I should say. It's a little trivia. And I want you to participate. So if you're watching right now on TV, grab your phone, go find me on Facebook. And let's see, it's streaming live on YouTube as well. So it'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, and where else can you make comments? Sometimes LinkedIn, but I think Facebook and YouTube would probably be best. And of course, I'll respond back to you. So let's go. Here we go. First question. Halloween. Where are my Halloween people at? All right. So let's go ahead and put this in the middle because I want it to be, there we go. Let's line it up. All right. There we go. What vegetable was traditionally used to carve jack-o'-lanterns before pumpkins? Yeah, I didn't even know. So I thought I'd throw a couple in here that I wasn't even familiar with. So if anybody knows, go ahead and drop it. I want to know how many of you all got it, because it'll let me know if you answered right then and there. And I'm going to show you the answer. Turnips. How wild, right? Turnips is the answer. I was just like, I didn't know they did that. So I thought that was a really good trivia question to share. So you may or may not have known, and that's okay. I thought it was fun. This one was also interesting. I had no idea. And maybe I heard of it years ago, but who knows? Next question. In what country did trick-or-treating originate? I actually didn't know this one either. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to go ahead and drop it. No Googling, no getting on your phone. Make sure you drop it in the chat, whether you're live or on replay, I'm still going to see it. So go ahead and drop it in. In what country did trick-or-treating originate? Ready for the answer? Scotland. I didn't know. I was like, that is so interesting. I had no idea. Now I got to go look up what year it originated. So that is question number 2. And of course, I'm going to come back to these questions. But first, we're going to hop in to another topic of discussion. Now, this may or may not sit well with you, and I get it. Believe me, I get it. When I became NLP certified, just to give you some context, I had to go through all of the things, and I don't even want to say all because, we're like onions. There's layers that we get to peel back. But I had to go through a lot of personal development myself. Sorry, let me just make sure my phone is on silent. Okay, good. I had to go through tons of personal development myself. And we get to show up as a different person. And that was a game changer for me. But what really impacted me, because I'm a very loving, caring person. I love on others. I'm always doing everything I can to support others. I've been like that my whole life. And I know I got it from my mom because she's done the same thing. I got it from my dad, as well. So what I got to really understand is the impact that it has on so many people. So I've gone through personal development. I've gone through all of the releasing of, negative emotions, of, different types of events that happened in my life that caused anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. And granted, it doesn't mean I don't feel those things anymore. It just means I know how to process those emotions. And that's where you really get to understand and have grace for people. It's funny because you're in a different mindset, you're in a different space, and you really get to bless. You really get to pray, bless, and release people's negative energy or negative actions towards you, because it's their own map of reality. They don't know how to control the emotions that they're going through. So if somebody's ever said something to you through hateful words, angry words, anything like that, family, parents, friends, strangers, it really reflects what they're going through. And so I've literally released all of that. And there's just such an impactful and profound space and peace and joy that you get to be in because you have more compassion and more empathy, because people don't know what they don't know. If that's their map of reality, if that's all they learned, if that's all they know, how do they act differently? How do they become differently? Now, it's easy to say, oh, they should know better. Oh, it's common sense. Guess what? To them, they don't understand that. It doesn't register for them. So remember, come from a place of compassion, from love, from empathy. And if you're like me and you're a woman in Christ out there, or even a male in Christ, you know that that's not the way Jesus moves forward, by coming with hate. Jesus is all about love. So that's how you get to show up every single day. Granted, I'm not perfect. I may or may not have used a choice word the other day, and I was like, oh, sorry. My bad. My apologies, God, that came out. Because again, there's still an emotion there. Still something that triggered me to say what I said or even think what I thought. But I get to pull it back and be like, wait a second, why did that upset me so much? Where in my past has that affected me? And I say all this to preface our next conversation. We're going to talk about the election. Now, I don't do politics, meaning I don't talk about it with people because it gets so many people riled up. There's so much anger. And I was in Las Vegas this past weekend with family, and I spoke to a gentleman who was angry, so angry. How could people be so? How could people even think that way? How could people not know any better? Everybody has their own map of reality. So remember why you're angry, why it's so upsetting to you, and why the other person doesn't think like you. Have normal conversations. You don't have to get angry about it. And I know it's not my listeners and my viewers because you guys are phenomenal, but it's the people that really don't know what they don't know. You know, there's so many people that lead by emotion versus logic. And this is where a lot of the anger comes up. So I want to do a quick little quiz with you. Is that okay? So this one I thought was a little fun because you get to decide or determine, you know, where you fall. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. This quiz is for entertainment purposes only. It is not a scientific assessment or of your personality type. It just helps to guide you or helps you to understand, okay, how do I lead? Again, entertainment purposes only. I know how I lead. Let's see where you're at. Okay, so you're going to read each question carefully, choose the answer that best describes, and at the end of the quiz, you're going to tally it up and find out whether you lead emotionally or logic. So at the end of the quiz, tally up your score and see where you fall on your emotional logic spectrum. Ready? It's going to be fun. It's just fun. Just have fun with it. Okay, when making a decision, do you tend to A, go with your gut feeling, or B, weigh the pros and cons carefully? So remember, when making a decision, do you tend to go with your gut feeling or weigh the pros and cons carefully? Go ahead and mark your answer. That's number one. Number two, do you prefer to A, spend time with family and friends, or B, pursue hobbies and interests? So do you prefer to A, spend time with family and friends, or B, pursue hobbies and interests? Again, it can relate to both, right? All right, number three. When faced with a problem, do you A, try to find a creative solution, or B, analyze the situation and develop a plan? Where do you fall? I actually fall in both. Okay, I think this is number four. I didn't even put the numbers, so see where we're at. Okay, so the next question. Do you tend to be more A, optimistic, or B, realistic? Where do you land? A or B? And then I think it's number 5, it's okay. Do you prefer to A, express your emotions openly, or B, keep your emotions to yourself? This is interesting because a lot of people fall in this category. So I'm sorry, I think I went a little fast. So if you need me to go back, well, I can't go back, it's a recording, we're recording. So, but you can definitely go back and take this. Next question. Do you believe that, I'll slow down a little bit. Do you believe that A, the heart should always rule the head? Or do you believe that logic should always prevail? That's an interesting one because I already know it can go both, right? Okay, next question. Do you tend to A, Be spontaneous and impulsive, or B, plan things out in advance. I like both. It just depends on the situation. I usually do both. But I'm actually usually a planner. So, and that's just because I plan stuff out sometimes, most of the time. And then sometimes I'm spontaneous and creative and impulsive. So it's weird. I fall under that line too. So, but make sure you're dropping your stuff in. I want to see where you guys are. So definitely engage, because I want to be able to respond and say, oh, I get it. I understand, where that's coming from and things like that. So engage with me. All right. Next one. Do you prefer to, this one's funny. Actually, it's funny for me. Watch a romantic comedy, or B, watch a documentary? Who knows me? I'm going to give you a second to write down what mine would be. Just if you know me, and you're going to put it there because I love them so much. So who knows me? Put down what I would respond. Say, Francine would do blank. I would do blank. I want to know, where do you land here? And by the way, I absolutely love both, but there's one that I will choose 100%. Well, I would choose more than I would the other. Okay. All right. Next question. Do you tend to A, trust your intuition, or B, rely on facts and figures? Yeah. Sometimes we want to go with our gut, our intuition. That doesn't seem right. So I thought that was a really good one. Okay. So I think this is the last one. Yes. Okay. Next one. Do you believe that A, the world is a beautiful place? Sunshines, rainbows, lollipops. Or the world is a dangerous place? Ooh. Go ahead and tally it up. Let's see where you're at. And if you answered A to most of your questions, guess what? You are more likely to be emotionally driven. I get that. If you answered B to most of the questions, you're more likely to be more logical. All right, where did you land? Tell me in the chat, mostly A's, mostly B's, or you hit it right in between. There's no wrong answer. Remember, this was clearly for fun, but it helps you to understand how you process things a little bit differently or a little bit better, right? Understanding you, because the best thing you can do is understand you. Okay. So emotional people are emotionally driven tend to more in people. Why am I not reading this right? People who are emotionally driven tend to be more in touch with their feelings. They are often creative, compassionate, and empathetic. I do follow under this area. Logical. People who are logical tend to be more analytical and rational. They are often good at problem solving and decision making. And so I understand both spectrums. So when I allow my emotions to take over, I understand what's happening. But see, what happens is so many people are either very emotional and will lead that way, or so many people are very logical and will only lead that way. So when you understand to have the balance between both, yeah, you get to show up so much. I don't want to say better because you're amazing. You just get to understand things from different perspectives, if that makes sense. You get to understand everybody's decision making. You get to be able to, again, understand and have empathy, to be able to connect. You get to share in somebody's opinion and decision making without any banter back and forth. And again, it's okay to have those open conversations and to understand why people think the way they do. It's having grace and it's having love for others and just, okay, great. You get to see their decision making and really understand them as a person. So be empathetic. Allow people to share. just listen. Listeners are amazing people. So I just wanted to share, it's important to note that everyone has both emotional and logical sides. This quiz is simply a way to gauge which side is more dominant for you. So again, it was fun. Your results may vary depending on your mood, situation, and other factors. So, and then lastly, disclaimer, please note this quiz is not a substitute for professional psychological assessment. If you have any concerns about your emotional or logical tendencies, please consult with a qualified mental health professional. I just wanted to share that so that you understand, again, we get to understand who we are. We get to set a tone for where we want to go. Everything, everybody who's in our life, the things we watch, the things we listen to affect our mood, affect our outcome every single day. So once you start to understand you as a person and how you maneuver forward, you get to change your life. You get to change your perspective. You get to change your energy. You get to show up in such an empowered space that you light up rooms. And that's phenomenal. It's wonderful to do. And it's still kind of funny how people say I do that. And it's just like, oh, I'm so grateful for that. And it's come with a lot of personal development. It's come with a lot of grace. It's come with a lot of forgiveness, even towards myself, to say, you didn't know what you didn't know. So now let's do something different. Now let's change the patterns of our past and show up differently for others and ourselves. So yeah, I just had to share. So just know, with this whole political craziness behind us, you know, it's going to be different. No matter which way it goes, it's going to be different. Just understand people are out there hurting every single day. So show more love, show more compassion, show more empathy, and just know why people do the things they do and say the things they do. And just, again, bless and release. Pray for them. That's what we're here for. We're here to support others. We're here to love on them and provide a space for them to just be. Okay? All right. Well, of course, we got to jump into the last of our Halloween questions. So are you ready for this? Let's go. All right. This one was fun. I actually don't know their names. I just know the movie. Okay. What are the names of the 3 Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus? Do you know the names? I didn't. Drop them in the chat. I didn't know their names. All right. Here we go. It is Winifred, Sarah, and Mary. Did Sarah Jessica Parker keep her name? That was kind of cool, right? She totally did. Do you know that I barely watched Hocus Pocus for the first time all the way through 2 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago? Barely watched. I know, it was crazy. Just some movies I'm barely starting to watch. Okay, what is the name of the masked villain in Halloween franchise? What is his name? I always get the 2 mixed up. For some reason, I'll say that's Jason. For some reason, I'll say that's Michael Myers. That's the answer. And then what is the name of the spooky green-faced character from Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas? Where are my Disney fans? Is this you? Go ahead and drop it in. And then let's see. It is the Boogeyman. Woo. All right, next one. What is the name of the creature that is said to bring good luck on Halloween? What's funny is I didn't know this. I kind of, I always do this to be like a bad omen, even though I'm like, I never believed in it. But I didn't know it brought good luck on Halloween. A black cat? Who knew? Maybe because it's Halloween that the black cat is the good luck. Oh, okay, makes sense. Okay, I get it. All right, what is the name of the villainous doll from Child's Play franchise? From the Child's Play franchise. Drop it in the chat. What's his name? It's Chucky. Yes. So great. I grew up with this. Chucky. It's so crazy. What is the name of the famous horror author who wrote Dracula and Frankenstein? I'm like, So it's like dun 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 Dracula, dun 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 Frankenstein. I can hear his name in my voice. I mean, I'm in my voice in my head. Ready? Bram Stoker's Dracula. I always, yeah. That's how I hear it. Oops, so sorry. One of my timers just went off. Apologies. Okay, so no, this isn't the last one. I did 13 questions. What is the name of the iconic horror film series named after October's favorite holiday? What's the iconic horror film series named after October's favorite holiday? Yep, I think you might have got this. You should all get this. Put it in the chat. It is Halloween. Absolutely. All right. What is the name of the creature often depicted as a tall, thin figure with long limbs that is said to wander the earth on Halloween night? This figure is usually coming after you, trying to take you away. This is a little harder if you're trying to what? But some people get it right away. The name of the creature, often depicted as a tall, thin figure that kind of floats through the night and just kind of comes for you, usually at cemeteries. Did you put your answer in? I'm going to show it. It is the Grim Reaper. Ah! All right. What is the name of the holiday celebrated the day after Halloween? Now, if you're of the Hispanic culture or the Latino culture like I am, we say something different. The answer was All Saints Day, or where are my Latinas and Latinos out there? We know it as Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Okay, so what is the name of the popular Halloween candy that is shaped like a small, colorful corn kernel? This used to be one of my favorite candies until it got to be too sweet and too sugary. One of the most popular Halloween candies that is shaped like a small colorful corn kernel. Drop it in the chat. Let's see if you got it. Anybody else love them? Anybody else still eat them? I will eat them once in a while. If I see them, I'll eat one or two. And I'll always bite off the tip and the back first and then eat the rest. I don't know why it was a thing. So, candy corn. All right, I think we are at our last and final question. So I hope you guys are having fun with this because I love trivia. Who doesn't love trivia? Love trivia. Okay, so what is the name of the spooky gothic family featured in a popular Halloween-themed TV show and movie franchise? I would have totally put up my costume had I known where it's at, but I dressed up as the mom one year for Halloween, and it was so fun. So have you come up with it? The name of the spooky gothic family featured in a popular Halloween-themed TV show and movie franchise. That show is on our list every Halloween to watch. So did you put your comment or the response? Here we go. The Addams Family. Do-do-do-do. 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 Yes. Anyways, thank you so much for playing along. I appreciate you all. And just so you know, I am going to come up with these more often, I should say, or not more often, but maybe these live chats, because, I really get to share my love and passion for creativity, my quirkiness, my silliness, my fun, my energetic personality. Because, sometimes it's like, we talk business and we talk things that are deep, but for the most part, my show has fun in it. I know I'm laughing all the time because we're always sharing fun stories, but it's not as something that can come up with trivia questions and fun things to do. So thank you for sticking around, for staying with me. Share this with a friend who can use some fun Halloween trivia or needs to really understand the difference between emotions and logic. And one thing I wanted to share with you all is we do have something coming up that I'm going to put at the end of this. I'm hoping it comes at the end of this, but it's going to basically show what we're doing for let me see if I can bring it up really quick as we're here. It's going to show what we're doing for our fundraiser for our nonprofit. So our nonprofit is, okay, there it is, it's coming up. Our nonprofit is raising funds for the holidays because we're always supporting people where they're at, a lot of women through the different types of mental well-being programs and workshops that we put on. And I don't know if you know this, but we also donate to an organization. I want to say their old name, but they're now called Wayfinder Family Services. So every year for the past, I think this year will be our 16th year, yes, where we're going to be donating toys and clothes to kids in foster care. That's always been near and dear to my heart because children are near and dear to my heart. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that they're part of a system. And I know their parents are going through something and all we can do is pray for them and hope they find the shelter, not the shelter, but like the loving family, the loving home, and have clothes, toys, whatever it is that they need, because they're all in, the system just trying to make it by. And so my heart always goes out to them. And so I'm always participating. And if you want to get involved, definitely let us know. But in the meantime, what I'm doing is from now towards the end of November, we're going to start featuring a vendor, like somebody who has a business, because their business will be showcased and we're going to be able to ask for a donation. So that can go towards everything that we're doing, whether it be workshops, whether it be donations of toys and things like that. We're raising funds for our nonprofit, which is WILA. So I'm going to share a little bit of that flyer here, and then I'm going to leave it on as I close out with you all. So just to kind of show you what that looks like, it's going to be our Empower Her virtual holiday boutique. And we put vendors wanted, and we're going to be streaming here, and it's going to be supporting our nonprofit, which is a 501c3. And if you're interested or know somebody who's interested, a vendor, somebody that wants to showcase their business, then definitely have them email us at info@wila.com if they're interested. So I'm going to leave this, hopefully at the end, it'll stay up as I close you all out for today's show. And I'm going to close out a little bit earlier today than our normal shows because I want to be able to just enjoy the show as it is. It was a special show and I want you all to participate and catch the replay and stay connected. So if you want any more questions about that vendor opportunity to be able to come live on the show and showcase your business, or somebody, then definitely have them contact us. I look forward to it. Have a wonderful day. Again, go love on people, go smile, go out there and compliment, because that's what we're all about, empowering one another, loving on one another, and just being an amazing human being. So thank you so much again for joining. Again, I'm your host, Francine Ayala. Stay tuned for next Wednesday, where we'll have another guest speaker on, and we're going to show up and just come and love on you guys by sharing something of value that is going to help empower you as your life and career grow, wherever that may be. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this. Take care, and I will be back next week. We're live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. PST. Again, join me on social media, and I look forward to connecting with you out there. Have a blessed one. Take care. Bye. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Here it is.
I want to get to know what you do, what inspires you, what you enjoy. My ability to lead really impacts women on a larger level, because not every woman has the same story or the same journey. So understanding where they've come from and where they want to go helps me be the leader that I can, so that I can show up in a space of authenticity for them.